Welcome back, and today we've got a big one, or actually a pretty small one. This is the SD Devil Gundam that I got in my $300 lot a couple months ago, and I'm super excited to finally get this thing built. Inside the box, the instructions are a little different than any other kit I've ever built. They've kind of got the master grade look from the early 2000s, at least that front cover does, and then the manual itself, very small. Just these just these a couple pages here, but there's a lot more color on here than I was expecting. And same for these runners. I don't know why this one did not come in plastic. Very odd. But a lot of these runners are very colorful, a little more than I was expecting, but not as much as something like a high grade. There's not the most color separation, but a decent amount here. I can already tell there's a lot of repetition type pieces in here, so let's get these bad boys out of their bags and start building. As far as runners, the first one you're going to get, this A runner here, does come in 4 different colors, that being a white, blue, red, and a kind of dark blackish grayish. I am kind of surprised at the amount of detail in some pieces like the front of the face here. This little runner all in white just has the upper part of the arm pieces. And then we have a runner in all of that dark gray blackish color, and this is going to be for the legs and the main body of the Devil Gundam. We also have this very bright yellow for the body, as well as the V-fin and some of the arm pieces, and a lot of the funnels. Not looking forward to building those. And the final main runner is those leg pieces that, again, did not come in a bag. I don't know if that's regular or not, or if this was a weird one, but no bag for these runners. And despite its size, there are a lot of polycaps. I've seen high grades with a lot less. I will say the sticker sheet is a little more reassuring. Pretty small, just the face mask there, as well as some of the vent pieces. So not too bad in terms of stickers. But before I get this thing off the runners, I'm going to do one of my favorite parts of any build, and that is doing some panel lining. I've gotten some flack in the past for using panel lining on kits that are already pre-built, so I'm doing it the correct quote-unquote way, and it's just so satisfying. I love watching the panel line, and if you guys like watching it, here's about 30 seconds of panel lining ASMR. Or I guess it's not ASMR because there's no sound of the panel lining, just the music, but enjoy it anyways. With this being my first real SD kit, I wasn't really knowing what to expect in terms of build quality or the tough quote-unquote-ness of the build, but spoiler alert, it's very easy indeed. As you can see, it's just one polycap and one internal piece for the back of the eyes, and that's pretty much the head, where we're going to put on the front part of it, and then some stickers and the V-fin. That's pretty much it, and you can expect this type of difficulty for the entirety of the build as well. And I joke, but this part actually was a little bit difficult. Getting these, I don't know why, but because the sticker is so big, it was a little bit more stressful than, the typical eye camera sensors stickers that are on most Gunpla. I don't know, because it's so large, you can just see all the misalignments or if it's incorrect. Very frustrating, the only bad part of this build, I think. But the biggest sticker is out of the way. We'll get this headpiece slapped on, and oh yeah, it's not the only big sticker on the head. These type of stickers, specifically, Have got to be my least favorite because they cover more than one angle of a surface, and they never look good. No matter how perfect you are at putting on stickers, you're getting the crease perfect, one try, everything, it just does never look good. There's always something peeking out, or there's always a little bit of extra sticker kind of creasing into another piece of it. Never looks great. I would definitely prefer painting over this bit, and maybe I will in the future, but I really don't like these stickers. But moving on down to the torso and the polycaps, they continue to polycap. There's a lot here, and I'm just going to assume that this is kind of standard practice for most SD kits. I know they're not super complex, so the polycaps kind of make up for that. And another area where this kit is definitely lacking in detail is right here on the chest. Originally, this was supposed to be a sticker here. I'm not going to put a round metallic sticker on the front of this guy, so we're just going to use a little bit of Gundam marker. Makes it just look a little better. But we'll continue to put polycaps on the end of everything, kind of sandwich all the pieces together, and then we're going to get these little thrusters in the back. Not so bad, but I'm really scared for the rest of them on this kit. Get the little bit of the torso here and slap the head on. We've got the first half of this Devil Gundam done. Very little guy so far. Very curious to see how this guy's going to end up though, because there's already a surprising amount of movement in some of the pieces here. I doubt that it's going to hold throughout the rest of this, but again, we'll see. One thing that definitely seems apparent so far for the rest of this build is the repetition. There's just a lot of it. It's just kind of a sandwich here, polycap here, polycap here. It's not bad by any means. It's just, I guess this is why I'm not so much into SD kits. The arms are kind of cool. They connect in this weird ball socket here, and then it connects actually through the polycap, of course, to the arm, and the shoulder is just kind of resting on top of there. Gonna do that twice. And I mean, it looks cool. I like the Devil Gundam design a lot, and since there's not really a high-grade version of this guy, this is pretty sick. Just wish there was a little bit more here. But I'm complaining too soon. I still have to do the rest of this guy. The legs and the abdominal area? I don't know what you call it, but the big part. And wouldn't you know it, it's more polycaps. Of course it is. I don't know what I would really expect out of this guy for anything else, but it's just a little tedious, and it's a little annoying, if I'm being quite honest. And I double checked, I don't have any nubs poking out anywhere or anything, but this plastic, it's having a tough time wanting to stick together. It's I don't know if it's just the type it is, the age of it or anything, but it's got a little bit of a gap there. It's kind of annoying. Now I move on to the thruster bits back here, and this is kind of the coolest part of the build, and then it's followed by one of the least coolest part of the build. Another one of these multi-dimensional stickers that does not look good. I think, you know, not to toot my own horn, I think I can put the sticker on pretty darn good, but it's a 3D sticker. It's not going to look that great regardless. Let's do some feet. And what's that? I heard you wanted more polycaps? Here's some more polycaps. I thought there was a lot of polycaps on the top half of this build. This thing is full of them down here, and it's just foot polycap foot piece. A lot of open plastic, a lot of back that could really go for some more polycaps. That's what I meant, more polycaps. I need more polycaps, that's right. This is for the other leg. Golly, there's a lot of polycaps on this thing. Hopefully it pans out at the end. I don't know. We will see, but the build, besides the polycaps, is not bad, and the polycaps are not bad, they're just annoying. Let's find out. And here he is, all done, all 4 inches of this SD Devil Gundam. I gotta say, it's a good looking kit. You know, again, I've never really done an SD before, and I like how this guy looks. I will say the one thing, there's not a lot more to him. Not a lot of articulation, not a lot of accessories. In fact, there are 0 accessories, and this is what we get. And as far as articulation, a decent amount, a weird decent amount actually. The top part of the chest as that one polycap to the torso, I guess, I don't know what you would call that, and you can get a lot of movement backwards, just kind of everywhere. I guess this is the benefit of polycaps, right? That doesn't look the best, but you can have them all the way out here if you want. There are some slight opening and closings with the claws here, which are, again, kind of cool, but again, a lot of, like, plastic, just, like, open bits everywhere that are kind of annoying. But, again, I don't know what I'm expecting with the SD Gundam. This happens a lot, by the way, because there are polycaps everywhere. They're going to be falling out a lot. For the arms, you do get a little bit of movement. There's a bend at the elbow, though it's not a very big one. I think it's like 30 degrees. And again, because that shoulder armor is on its own peg, it can kind of swivel around. It's just kind of there. It's not really doing too much. It's the exact same for the legs. They're just kind of on those polycaps, so they're just going to be kind of there, and you're going to get a little bit of movement side to side. But again, because there's not a whole lot else there, that's going to really be it. And because there's such little articulation, there's also very little in terms of posing. Yep, there you go. That's what you can do. It's really not a lot. You can kind of have some of the legs up a little bit. You're really not going to be posing this guy. You're only going to be getting this guy if you just like the look of the Devil Gundam and want a figure of it, because that's all you're getting out of this guy. I will say, bottom looks kind of nice. It's kind of a shame that all that extra detail down there is covered up, and there's not a whole lot of extra detail up top, but it is what it is, I suppose. Getting this guy up on the pedestal here, I gotta say, this is a unique, to say the least. I like the way that it looks. I like the Devil Gundam. It wasn't a bad build by any means, and the design is pretty good. It's just, I don't think SD Gundams are really for me. It's cool. I like some of the looks. Maybe I gotta try the master grade SD. Maybe those will be kind of more up my alley. But overall, I gotta give this thing like a 2 out of 5, or I guess like a C tier. Yeah, not terrible by any means, just not really for me. But if you guys enjoy this type of content and want to see more of it, make sure you subscribe. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.